Take a moment, hit the like button, subscribe button. Let me know if you have any thoughts on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral. I'd love to hear them. And for the time being, we're going to wait to see who joins. These 1 a.m. live streams don't have any specific topics. It's just hanging out, waiting to see who joins. So let's see who joins. I had an excellent day today. Congratulations to International Order Rainbow on an excellent, let's change this, excellent meeting. Also had an excellent virtual meeting with the Masonic Medical Research Institute, which was a blast as well. So yeah, thank you everybody for being here. Please take a moment, hit the like button and the subscribe button. Let me know if you have any thoughts on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral. I'd love to hear about it. Congratulations to Rainbow. Congratulations to Masonic Medical Research Institute. Now we're just going to wait and see who joins. I will be back on, I guess, tomorrow, today, technically, March 5th at 1 p.m. As well, not quite sure on the topic yet, but I have a few different ideas, so we shall see. Please hit like, please hit subscribe. I'm really enjoying and appreciate once again all the support I'm getting, including and especially people taking the time to comment on my videos. Those comments help big time, so please keep doing it. And let's see who can find me. Welcome. Jump in the chat, say hello. We're just hanging out, talking about Freemasonry. I do these streams 1 a.m. and 1 p.m. Monday through Friday. So if you have any thoughts on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral, I'd love to hear it. Or, I mean, we can just hang out, chat about whatever. Whenever I'm doing these 1 a.m. streams, I just really hang out and wait to see who joins. We're going to wait, see who joins. Please hit that like button, subscribe button. Any thoughts on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral? I'd love to hear it. Please let me know. Doing well, Jason. How are you doing? Thank you for being here as always. Hope you're having an excellent day, excellent night. You have to like, you have to subscribe. Harsh 6500. I had an excellent day. Congratulations, Rainbow, on an excellent meeting. Also, great time with the Masonic Medical Research Institute as well. I'm going to be talking a lot more about that coming up soon. So we're right now just waiting to see who joins. Please hit like, please hit subscribe. Any thoughts you have on Freemasonry or anything you want to talk about, positive, negative, or neutral, please let me know. No, Magic the Gathering. Freemasonry is not Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones, to my understanding, is a fraternity out of Yale, which is different than, I mean, Freemasonry has a fraternal aspect to it, but it is not a fraternity. It is a civic or community group or organization. No, okay, I can't tell what all that means, but if you're saying no to Hitler, then yes, because Hitler was a very bad person. Hello, Titanic. Thank you for being here. Please hit like. Please hit subscribe. Let me know how you're doing. Any thoughts you have on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral? I'd love to hear them. I appreciate that very much. Hello, a time for judgment. Yes, I got a big nose. That shouldn't stop you from hitting the like button and the subscribe button, and let me know if you have any thoughts on Freemasonry. No, actually, I did an episode about this a little while ago. Freemasonry is mentioned 11 times in the Epstein files, to my knowledge. There are no actual Freemasons who visited Epstein Island. The references are all historical or primarily historical and don't have anything to do with modern kind of modernity or visiting of Epstein Island. Um, We can, Michael Herman. It depends on the jurisdiction. In some cases, they will put all of the text out at the same time. Other times, what they will do is they will put a single text on, which is meant to represent the majority faith in the room. Or if it's an obligation, for example, they may use the text of the newly initiated brother. So if he's Muslim, they'll use a Muslim text. If he's Jewish, they use the Quran. I've even seen eagle feathers used for indigenous brothers. So not even text all the time. I've also heard of Wiccan, Wiccan, people joining. And they, instead of a text, it was gems or stones as a representation of their faith. So it depends. But very often, like in Michigan, there are many locations where, like in Dearborn, where it is all three major texts, the Quran, the Torah, and the Bible, on the altar at the same time. Um, I mean, it's beneficial to know as many different people as you can at Time for Judgment, not exclusive to Freemasonry. It's beneficial to know as many different people as you can from as many different groups, whether it be professions, civic groups, religious groups, political groups. I think a wider array of knowledge about individuals or a wider social safety net or a wider social net is a good thing. Um, I find you challenging and annoying. That's not scared. Emotionally challenging, put it that way, but not scared. I definitely would not describe myself as afraid. Um, I don't know who that is, but I hope he was a handsome fella. Hello, Gene Guy Rubberfoot. Please hit like and subscribe. Vi Victi, does it make you feel good if somebody is afraid of you out of curiosity? And does that give you a sense of purpose? Because it seemed to me, instead of trying to instill fear in others, you would want to create bridges between people. But that's my humble opinion. Um, we're just going to keep hanging out, wait to see you join. Please take a moment, hit the like button and the subscribe button. Well, I'm definitely getting rid of that name. Well, I'm sure some people like you. I would be, I'm not sure who, but I guess everybody has people who like them. I find you quite a challenging individual. It's not so much that I dislike you or like you, it's more I find you. I don't think you and I would hang out together IRL, but who knows? Maybe you're different offline than online. I am not. I have no couches for sale, but I would like you to hit the like and subscribe button. I would very much appreciate that. Or you can give a gift. We have the gift option now available on YouTube. Antoine, I have no idea, or Anthony, I have no idea who he did or did not work for. I don't think anybody knows. I think a lot of this stuff is just guessing and guesswork at this point. Unless you're a professional investigator, in which case you probably shouldn't be saying things online. None of us know for sure. We need to be incredibly careful about how we proceed with this stuff. Well, I'll try not to sneeze hard. LUL. Please hit like and subscribe. Nicholas, please hit like and subscribe as well. I do like antiques, actually. I have a lot of Masonic antiques, and I'm grateful for all of them. I love the Masonic antiques that I have. I hope to get more. It's something I don't collect them the way others do. Like there are some Masons out there who have incredible antique collections, but nonetheless, I do enjoy collecting Masonic antiques when I can. Nobody, I don't know if you're saying meow like I'm handsome or meow like I'm catty. Either way, please hit like and subscribe. Um, yeah, I did a stream a few months ago where I showed off my Masonic antiques. I do not have a Masonic Bible. Um, Part of it is because I'm not Christian myself. The Masonic Bible that people love to talk about, it's just a King James version of the Bible. The exception is it has a square and compass on the front and usually a place for brethren to sign if they were present at a brother's initiation, passing, or raising. The cat is sleeping somewhere. I don't know where she's at right now. Um, but if nobody, if you're saying I have a cat, I do have a cat. Her name is Bandit. She's awesome. Best cat in the world. And I know it might seem an amazing coincidence that I just so happen to have the best cat in the world. But what can I say? I have the best cat in the world. Well, it's 1 a.m. in fairness. We're going to wait, see who joins. Once again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Any thoughts on Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral? I'd love to hear them. Let's give it a bit of time. Let's see who joins. Consider a super chat. You can join Patreon as well. No, the Freemasons do not run the world. Freemasonry is not about running the world, nor is it about running countries, cities. There's no even global like Masonic order. It's decentralized within different jurisdictions. So, no, we do not. Thank you for the thumbs up, Jason. That's incredibly kind. Will, I'm about Freemasonry. So there you go. Yes, I have a big nose, Chicken Man. Please hit like and subscribe. Well, Carrie Van Ness, that is much obliged. Many Masonic buildings have, different ways that they earn revenue outside of membership dues. They may have, for example, a theater production space. They may welcome the public for different events. They may rent out the temple or the building for weddings or graduations or special services. Or they may, amongst other things, they may even have, in some cases, restaurants or bar services. It depends where you're at. There's one, for example, in Colombia, Bogota. There's also one in, forgive me, in Hong Kong, to my understanding. I am not. Please hit like and subscribe. Freemasonry is a civic group or a civic club, civic organization. So think about it like a club, Will. A club or a group is just one that's been around for about 300 years. It evolved from stone Masonic guilds in the Middle Ages, so it's from stone masonry. Well, it depends on the nature of the meeting, right? They may have an administrative meeting where they are bringing in new masons, new fellowcraft, new masters. Those are ritual nights. They may have an administrative meeting where they are talking about maintaining Freemasonry, bills that need to be paid, correspondence that needs to be read, work that needs to be done. Or they may have a banquet or celebration or other special events. Um, awesome, Carrie. Please hit like, please hit subscribe, Carrie Van Ness. I'd very much appreciate it. Carrie, you got to get used to people making fun of my nose if you're going to be on this stream. Many people make fun of my nose. I've grown to accept it. It seems to be just part of being on YouTube. But I am just one sub away from 3,650 subs, so let's see if we can get there. No, Skull and Bones are not part of Freemasonry. Skull and Bones is a separate organization. I think it's a fraternity out of Yale, if I recall correctly. We're just waiting. This is kind of an ask us anything type of stream. Well, if you mean practice actual masonry as in stone masonry, then the way to do that wouldn't be to join a Masonic lodge. It would be to join a stone mason guild or trade union. and go to school or get an apprenticeship. I mean, free stonemasonry as a profession still exists. And I'm sure that, the well-skilled stonemasons are able to make a ton of money at their job. So you don't need to join Freemasonry to become a stonemason. Stonemasonry, operative masonry is a profession. Freemasonry is a civic group or club. No. Freemasons cannot form a militia if needed. I'm not sure what that would look like, even, like what a Masonic militia would even look like or be. I do not know what EFN song is, but I don't want to get copyrighted, so probably not. I'd probably avoid doing so if I could help it. Yeah, you get used to it. Being on YouTube is an interesting experience, but I'm growing slowly but surely, getting more subscribers, getting more comments. A good way to support this channel is to leave some comments on my videos. That helps out a lot. So if you can do so, hit the like button as well. All that stuff helps out big time. Well, they were Masons originally, but then two groups evolved. You had your operative or stonemasons that continued, and then you had the Freemasons, which are speculative Masons, which are a civic group or social club. So certainly we would welcome stonemasons if they want to join. We would also welcome lawyers, doctors, janitors, carpenters, and everything in between. I do think, though, we as Freemasons should probably spend a little bit more time learning about or appreciating our operative roots, which are an incredibly important part of the symbolism of Freemasonry. Any movies I recommend? Well, I just saw Scream 7. I liked it. Didn't love it, but like it. But my two favorite movies are Nightmare 4 and Nightmare 5. Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and Nightmare on Elm Street 5. If you're asking me about my favorite Masonic movies, I really love From Hell, even though it does paint us in a somewhat negative light. I still like that movie quite a bit. Thoughts on the Iran war? Incredibly sad, incredibly tragic. I'm absolutely hoping that all of my Masonic brothers are as safe as they possibly can be. Um, well, Freemasonry is not, I don't know what that means. Like, Freemasonry is not a cosmology, but I think we in Freemasons are encouraged to learn about the world. So the earth is round. I mean, that's not, the earth is just round. It's not round in Freemasonry or not. It's just round. Freemasonry's never stated what the shape of the earth is, but if I met somebody who thought the earth was flat and was a Freemason, I would be concerned because as a Freemason, we should pay attention to science, geometry, and keep on learning. If we think the earth is flat, it clearly means we're not paying attention or learning from science. Um, well, Freemasonry. So Freemasonry came before Mormonism, for the record. Mormonism is a religion, though. Freemasonry is a civic institution or civic organization. Um, well, the pilots are wrong. The Earth is round. Please hit like. Please hit subscribe. I'm very comfortable saying the Earth is round. I can give a variety of different reasons for it, but I think we're just going to have to accept the fact the Earth is round. Um, It has to do with how we observe the world and what makes the most sense based on those observations. Um, Freemasons do not bully, at least they should not be bullying. If they are, depending on the nature of the bullying, somebody should, without question, contact the police. Um, please take a moment, hit the like button and the subscribe button. Uh, I do not know how that could possibly be the case, but okay, please hit like and subscribe. We within Freemasonry, I mean, we aren't encouraged to pay attention to and learn the 7 liberal arts and sciences, which help us better understand the world. In fact, the Fellowcraft degree, certainly an emulation ritual, is very much focused on and concerned with learning more about the earth and science. So yeah. And no, we are not Satanists. Yes, the moon landing was real. Again, that's not a Masonic position. That's just the correct position. Well, then your dad is clearly been telling you some incorrect stuff. The Freemasonry is not satanic. And by the way, why is the 33rd relevant? Why is that so relevant to Freemasonry? Why do people act like it's more important than a 3rd degree or a York Rite degree or the shrine? Well, Freemasons, again, Inner Sanctum, Freemasonry is a civic institution. It's a club, it's a social group. But stonemasonry, from which it evolved, it's a craftsman. So sure, they're related to carpenters as well as electricians and plumbers and anybody else who creates with their hands. Haberdashers, I think is the term. Seamsters, tradesmen of any sort. Um, I am a Freemason. I guess you don't have to believe me if you don't want to. That's fine. Um, the real builder is the true cornerstone. I do not know what that means. I feel like that's a reference to Jesus, right? Freemasonry is not a religion. We have Masons of many different religious beliefs: Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Hindu, Sikh. I think that's really the beautiful thing about Freemasonry is how many different religions we talk. Freemasonry is about tolerance, kindness, and respecting, our brothers of different faiths. Good day, wear a mask. Well, I guess you can believe whatever you so choose. Um, well, thank you. Hopefully everybody is your family. You should not be deciding on one's family based on skin color. I mean, you should view everybody as a brother of a sort, at least a brother of, a son of Adam, if you will. Um, okay, Kelso, so it's Bible. Um, we are just hanging out waiting to see who joins. Once again, if you're new to this stream, please take a moment, hit the like and subscribe button. I am almost at 3,650 subs, so I'm one away. Fingers crossed. If we don't get there, that's okay. I just appreciate you guys being here. These 1 a.m. streams, I just hang out. I don't have any specific topics. I do not know what a fifth degree Luciferian is. I don't know what that refers to. I didn't know the Luciferians had degrees. Um, Freemasons are not taught to lie. You are incorrect. In fact, we are taught to be good men, honorable. That's what the ethics of Freemasonry. Lying would be opposed to that. Um, I've never met a satanic Freemason or one who is a Satanist and who is part of Freemasonry. The one time, I guess it got close, if you're going to call it that, is I had a Satanist contact me and express an interest in joining Freemasonry, but when he learned about what Freemasonry was, he decided he did not want to join. I'm not sure because I've never seen a test case. To my knowledge, a Satanist does not believe in a supreme being in the way kind of any other group does. They believe that they themselves are the supreme being, which would be very complicated. I'm not sure if that would constitute a supreme being sufficient for Freemasonry, but I've never seen a test case. I would say if that was their supreme being themselves, I would not vote to accept that as a sufficient or good supreme being for the purposes of joining Freemasonry. All right, you guys all need to calm down. Ja, you need to calm down a lot. You're going to get timed out. It's not a secret society. I'm right here. So if it was a secret society, why would I be talking about it and so talking about it so openly? And telling everybody that I am a Freemason and proud to be a Freemason. The Masons do not help and support Iran. I mean, the Freemasonry is not a political entity, right? I mean, there are many Masons who are soldiers who are probably fighting for America, fighting for Israel, fighting for different countries. There is no Freemasonry presently in Iran. It was outlawed in 1979, although there is a Grand Lodge in exile in Los Angeles. Um, I don't have a Freemason Bible. I'm not really Christian, right? So I don't have a Freemason Bible, but a Freemason Bible is actually the King James Version of the Bible, just with some square compasses on the front, a place to sign, a couple illustrations. Um, God is good, Jesus is Lord. Fair enough. The third degree, that's the highest degree in Freemasonry. Antoine Monada, despite what conspiracy theorists will say, it is the third degree. That's the highest degree you can get within Freemasonry. Once again, I hope everybody is doing well. Please take a moment, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If your dad is a 33rd, he's not the highest. He was the highest when he was the third degree. Anything beyond that is a added bonus if you want, or a lateral move, but it is not hierarchical. Um, so the Mormons, I think they have a different version of the Bible. I'm not aware because I'm not familiar with their faith. The Mormons did, like Joseph Smith, who invented or created Mormonism, was himself a Freemason. However, it's important to remember that Mormonism occupies a completely different space than Freemasonry. Mormonism is a religion, Freemasonry is a civic group. Um, there are some celebrities, not many, but there are some. Depends where you're at, Demon, but I would sit next to a transgender, trans man with no issues, in a Masonic lodge or in any other location. Um, I mean, I can't speak to the Mormon Bible. I never read it. I don't know anything about it. Again, Mormonism occupies a completely different space than Freemasonry. Mormonism occupies a religious space. Freemasonry is a civic space. They're different purposes, different areas, different. I don't even know what the right term is. It just occupies a different space. It's like trying to compare a restaurant to a football game. They're different things. Um, well, at least you watch. It's much obliged. Um, Kelso, I don't talk about specifics of Masonic initiations, passings, or raisings because for a lot of different reasons, but ultimately you have to join to find those things out. It's a bit of a leap of faith. I will say, in my 20 years of Freemasonry, I've never seen anything in a Masonic lodge that would be illegal, immoral, or against one's civic, religious, moral, familial, employment, or other responsibilities. No, Freemasons do not worship Satan at any level, highest or lowest or in between. I got a big forehead. Please hit like and subscribe. Um, it's definitely declined since 1959 in North America. In other jurisdictions, it has been going up, but it's been declining with about equal level as other civic institutions and civic groups. And there's a lot of different reasons for that. Freemasonry is not humiliating anyone. That's not what it's about. And there are no satanic rituals. Um, Freemasons are certainly not encouraged to worship themselves. So I guess Freemasonry is not satanic. I am not Irish Freemasonry. I am emulation ritual. Comes down from Grand Lodge in England, right? When the moderns and ancients rejoined. So yeah. We're not obsessed with secrets. We have very few secrets. I don't even like to use the term secrets. I prefer to use the term private information. But they're valuable as a way to maintain the bonds of brotherhood. There's two ways to maintain bonds of brotherhood: shared experiences or shared knowledge. Ritual and the privacy of those rituals provides both. Um, you can be wherever you want to be. I'm not going to. I'm sure you will have a lot of comfort and success and security in the Christian community. I have no idea if aliens are real or not, but I don't think they are. I think aliens don't exist. Charles Manson, to my knowledge, was not a Freemason. Um, I've read the Bible. It's been a long time. It's been a very long time, but I read the Bible once upon a time. I keep wanting to read it again just because I want to be more conversant with different faiths. Because within Freemasonry, we have so many different faiths represented, which I think is a wonderful thing. Again, Freemasonry teaches universal tolerance. Um, the Blue Lodge means that the Blue Lodge is a meaning or a belief that it is worth spending time with other people and that the world is made better through the application of brotherly love, relief, and truth. Join and work your way up. You can do it that way if you prefer. Why take the shortcut? I mean, I don't know about monuments per se. Certainly Freemasons have plaques, cornerstones, special dedications. It just depends on if the lodge has the finances and the ability to organize something. Nothing's wrong with showing up, hanging out, and doing the rituals. There's nothing wrong with hanging out. I am a traveling man. I've been a Freemason for just about 20 years. It's crazy to think it's been that long. Also, literally a traveling man in that I consider myself a professional traveler. Please hit like, please hit subscribe. 47 means nothing to me. I don't know what that refers to. Um, I've never seen a mock human sacrifice in any Masonic ritual or event, so or meeting. Nor have I ever seen a real human sacrifice, just to make that clear. Neither a mock or real sacrifice. What country am I from? Canada. Born and raised in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Currently live in Windsor, Ontario. So there you go. Um, well, I think babies are great because having babies means they'll grow up and they can become Masons or they can become Elks or Moose or they can go on and do whatever they want to do. We need people, to grow up to keep countries going. And I'm old at this point, so I don't, I'm 42. I need young people coming up through the ranks to take over from me and take over in Freemasonry as well. Um, Nobody becomes a sacrificial lamb. There are no sacrifices in Freemasonry, with the exception of, I guess, we sacrifice our time. That's about it. Usually it's meant to reference the dichotomy between good and evil, trying to stay on the good side, reminding us, though, we're always at risk of teetering over to the not good side. So to be aware of ourselves and pay attention to ourselves. The mosaic pavement within, many lodges has a similar idea behind it and a similar ethical lesson or moral, if you prefer. So not just shoes. Are you a fan of, I'm thinking you are, but I could be wrong, Michael Knowles? He's a pundit, I guess, a YouTube personality with, I think, Daily Wire. Are you familiar with him? Okay, well, we do not drink blood, clips to go. That's a silly question. That's a dumb question. You should know better. So, all right. So anyways, when you say as above, so below, on his X post, on his Twitter feed, in the biography, he says something really interesting. He says, and I'm assuming it's a quote he got from someone else, as often as this life's idle show tries to charm you, transport yourself in mind to paradise. Try to be now what you will be hereafter. That quote is another way of saying as above, so below. Paradise is above. We're not there yet, but we can try to be here as we will be later. Stoic philosophy has a very similar idea to it. I love Marcus Aurelius's quote, imagine you've already died. Now wake up and live your life. I think that's another way to say as above, so below, if in maybe a less of a Christian context. Neil Armstrong was not a Freemason, but Buzz Aldrin was. Um, I do not deny the deity of Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm not Christian, but I know many Christian Freemasons. I've never once said I deny Jesus or of anyone's faith. People are free within a civic institution and this country to worship as they please, including to believe Jesus is Lord, for example. We have Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Hindu, Sikh Freemasons. There's private information. You can know about it by joining, or honestly by looking online. But the thing is, you're not going to know what's legit and not legit. Once again, I'm going to look up who said this because I always cite it. I really like this quote, even though I'm not a big fan of Michael Knowles personally. Like I don't like his takes on most things. I want to know who said this because it's a very good quote. Is it his quote? Saint Jerome. Okay, Saint Jerome, 342 to 420, a church father and theologian, in his letter 22 to Eustochium. So there you go. I don't think religion is bad. We have many religious people within Freemasonry. Um, I have no idea. We watched. I can't speak. I've not seen any indication of whether there will or won't be a draft. I'm not seeing what he said. I guess we'll see. Please hit like, please hit subscribe. No, wear a mask. Cornerstones can be different colors. Sometimes the color will be just based on whatever stone they could find. Sometimes it'll be based on the design of the building. Um, Maybe we use secret handshake and symbols, maybe we don't. we have modes of recognition, and it dates back to the stonemason roots. When we were operative masons and stonemasons, we needed ways to identify one another. Grips, tokens, passwords, things of that nature were all things stonemasons used. Um, I mean, I suppose how would I answer that question? That's like asking me, has anybody ever told you something you've forgotten? I mean, how could I know if I've forgotten it? I've forgotten it, right? But I think based on my 20 years of Masonic experience, going over to 1,000 Masonic meetings all around the world, I can pretty safely guess and be comfortable in my assumptions about Freemasonry, at least thus far. Um, well, again, that's like asking me, is it possible that there are invisible leprechauns in my apartment? Of course, it's possible. Maybe they're just really good at hiding. So, yes, it's possible I'm completely wrong about Freemasonry, and all of my 20 years of experience is somehow incorrect. But I can't live my life assuming that my observations and knowledge and reason are wrong. Otherwise I'd be jumping off of cliffs because I don't believe in gravity, or not leaving my apartment because I think it'll disappear when I come back, right? But sure, I mean, at the end of the day, I'll never know the full truth unless I suppose, and when I pass away, and then I can be told by a higher power, whomever it is, if I got it right or got it wrong, or more probably likely how close to right I got it. But on Freemasonry, I'm very comfortable believing that I'm basically correct, again, because I have enough firsthand observations, firsthand experiences, and significant amounts of travel and significant amounts of uh, research. It's no different than nobody can know for sure that that I don't know, that gravity, right, remains as a theory. It's possible that scientists got it wrong and there's a better idea out there of why we fall to the ground, but gravity seems to work for now. Um, I mean, some may, but that sounds to me more like witchcraft. I never heard of any Masons marking their homes. I mean, they may hang Masonic signs up. Like I've got a lot of Masonic certificates, paintings. I keep wanting to put them up somewhere, but I never get around to it. But I wouldn't call that marking. Marking to me sounds more like a Wiccan thing. Now, I have known a couple Wiccan Freemasons. Maybe they do, but I'm not aware of it. Um, have you heard of near? I've heard of near-death experiences. I've never had one or seen one, and knock on wood, I'd like to not ever have one, but I don't know. Maybe it's possible. And maybe what people have when they learn some type of truth that is hidden otherwise. But I'm not interested in having one. Let me just make that very clear. Um, I don't know. I've never heard of the Council of 300, so I can't speak to that. I've never heard of it. I mean, there's a 33rd Council. Um, what did I like about Scream 7? What did I like about it? I liked the soundtrack, especially the song they played at the end, well, just before the end. I loved that callback. I know it's a small thing, but I think movies live and die on soundtracks. And the final song that they play, it was played at the end of the original Scream and then played again at the end of Scream 7. That brought me back. I liked some of the nostalgia feelings of it. I liked the fact that it was a little bit more brutal in the ending of people than in other ones. Um, for the most part, I liked all of the characters. I thought it was a better throwback to like the original Scream than Scream 6, which felt more like a different direction. Um, I wasn't a huge fan though of the ending. I thought it ended about 3 minutes too late. If they had cut it off with that song playing before the last little speechifying, I would have preferred that. And I thought the killers themselves, that the motivation was a little bit weak for me. I wasn't a huge fan of that. It felt a little bit like they were rehashing Scream 4, and Scream 4 is my favorite of the Scream movies. So it's like, why rehash it? You're not going to do it better. Um, we are not trained to lie, nor do we lie. I mean, some Freemasons may lie. We're not perfect, but I try to never lie. Um, Well, just Todd, please hit like and subscribe. I'd very much appreciate it. I don't think there are subliminal messages in movies and TV shows. I think there's just messages in TVs and movies, like product placement, which I guess is a type of subliminal message, I suppose. But I'm not a huge fan of it. Sometimes I think it kind of cheapens the art a little bit when you have this obvious product placement. The character just happens to be drinking a Pepsi, and it's clearly visible in the shot or whatever it is. It can be distracting. Um, That would have been a great cliffhanger. Honestly, we watched. It's very interesting how we don't see cliffhangers in the Scream movies like we do in so many others. Slasher franchises. Like, in my opinion, the greatest ending to a scary movie ever is actually Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, where the psychiatrist is sleeping and then the model of the Kruger house lights up and then it goes to black and then Dream Warriors, great song comes on. That to me is the greatest ending of a movie, of a horror movie ever, maybe of a movie ever. I don't like to call it spiritual. It's not spiritual for me. I mean, some people may. It depends on how you define like what makes something spiritual, right? Because for example, I've known people who say to them a scary movie is a spiritual experience. I once saw somebody walking around with a T-shirt that said "Scary movies are my religion." I think some people can find a level of spiritual comfort within Freemasonry. However, you need to be really careful with that. Freemasonry is not a religion. It makes no promises of salvation, nor threats of damnation, nor does it have a singular, ascribed or prescribed interpretation of any Masonic texts, nor is it practiced the same globally. So it's not a religion. But I do understand some people may find spiritual kind of comfort in a variety of things: music, Freemasonry, sports, scary movies for some people. But always remember, Freemasonry is not a religion. Um, yes, Freemasonry is not the same as the Illuminati. AE is correct. It's something different. It's not a remake, but it did feel like a retread of Scream 4. I mean, it's some same characters, some new characters. It's a new story. It's a new story, but it felt like they took a lot of the themes from Scream 4 and reused them. Again, a lot of it would have been better, I think, if they had just ended the movie. If they had just ended things. Like 3, 4 minutes earlier, I think the movie would have been improved immensely. Um, I do not know what CBA means. I don't, well, nobody eat people. I'm going to just put this out there. Cannibalism is bad. Do not do it. I assume it means just cleaning. I don't know what cleaning out the barn means. Um, Freemasonry? Yeah, Freemasonry. I mean, it's a group of friends. It's the belief that it's worth spending time with other people. It just has rituals and ceremonies that are historical and traditional and help bond them together. Um, who said that? Kevin Williamson actually said today they shot an ending. Well, let's not have any we watch. I don't want to do spoilers quite yet. What I will say is, um, I'm hoping they revisit more of Sydney from Scream 3 and that story. I think that's a fascinating story. They never really took it anywhere. Um, I hope not. Trust your butcher. And nobody eat things. The fact that CBA knows about that, it is concerning me quite a bit. That I feel like that's not the type of thing you should know just off the top of your head. That's a weird thing to know. Um, Makes me concerned CBA is going to try to eat me, which I very much hope he doesn't. I'm all gristle. You don't want to, trust me, there's better candidates out there. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Thank you all for being here. We made it to 3,650 subscribers, so I'm greatly appreciated. Well, CBA, I hope that you left a comment on the short. Believe me, that helps out big time. Leaving comments, um, liking, sharing. That stuff helps out big time. It's a very important part of being on YouTube, engagement. Nobody eat, nobody eat people, please. I can't believe that's where it got to on this stream. It was a good movie we watched. It was. Again, it's not it's probably my least favorite of the Scream franchise, but that doesn't mean I still didn't enjoy it. The Scream is such a solid franchise. There's no bad movies in it, and I would add that to number 7. But Scream 4 is my favorite, then the OG, then 2, um, then 5, then 3, then 6, then 7, probably. I don't know if I'd say that. Hello, series. Please hit like and subscribe. That's a G, Antonio, or Antonio. That's the letter G. If you want to find out what it is, though, you got to join. I tend not to tell people. It's more interesting if you find out on your own after joining. It means more than me just telling you. I'm not sure the world is necessarily a sickness. Well, operative masons are professionals. They are stonemasons. They build things out of stone. I'm a speculative mason, which means I can't build anything out of stone, but I do. I'm part of a social group or social club called Freemasons. I remember you, Truth. At least I remember the name Truth. How's it going? Well, I'm going to keep eating at McDonald's, and if I find out after it's a Soylent Green situation, then, well, I guess there you go. I did. I like that theme as well. I enjoyed it very much. Like I said, I'm not knocking it. I liked it. I do think it was the weakest of the Scream movies, but that doesn't mean it's a weak movie. In the same way, I love every Halloween, every Nightmare, every Friday the 13th, although some I can say are stronger or weaker entries than others. Um, Maybe, Jeremy. No, I don't think that's how it works. I think religion is good if it helps you act in an appropriate manner here on earth. It's not about the right one or the wrong one. It's not my place to tell you whose religion is right and whose religion is wrong, nor is it any Freemason's place. Gotta join to find out. That's not something I like to tell people. I think religion has helped society advance in many ways. I think it's also in many ways harmed society, depending on who's using it and how it's being used. But I think the general longing and desire to look up and make sense of the world, find a creative force behind it, to give thanks to that creative force and try to understand it is a very human condition. It's a very human desire. And it's probably a desire that pushes humans to be better than we would be otherwise, more often than not. Um, Maybe I never tell people what it stands for. I heard they're going to do an 8. I haven't heard that for sure, but I heard they're going to do an 8. Although I got to say, the fact they're doing a Scream 8 and we still don't have another Nightmare movie does make me sad because I would like to see another Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Nightmare on Elm Street is my favorite franchise. Um, According to Google, it appears that Paramount greenlighting Scream 8 is all but a formality. That is, if the key creatives in the franchise are willing to get back on board. So it looks like there will be a Scream 8. Um, well, there you go, Nima. It does, but not the God you're thinking of. Not a God or the God, rather the supreme being as understood. So, for example, a Muslim will think of Allah. A Christian will think of Jesus. A Jewish person, right? A Hindu, a Sikh. They'll all have a different understanding of what that G stands for. In the same way, when Freemason says the supreme being, we're not referencing a single supreme being. Rather, we are referencing like whatever the supreme being you believe. So if you have a Muslim, a Jewish person, a Christian, a Hindu, a Sikh, all sitting next to each other in lodge, when they hear a reference to a supreme being, they will all be thinking of a different thing. And maybe it means something else as well. Maybe the G means a couple different things. It's not something I like to talk about. Um, I'm not much of a gamer. However, I do really enjoy Assassin's Creed Part 3, and I really enjoy the Dead Space games. Um, maybe it is, maybe it isn't AE. Um, I mean, I think the a church, a religious organization, can always do better, and hopefully, but also I think it can do and often does a lot of good as well. Like everything else, it's complicated. Um, well, here I am talking about it, so there you go. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and consider a super chat. Just 99 cents helps out big time and would be greatly appreciated. Um, well, he, I guess, was the one who has the quote, the Michael Knowles quote, right? Well, it's not Michael Knowles quote, it's what Michael Knowles has in his thing. No, it's St. Jerome, excuse me, St. Jerome. So I do not know who St. Thomas is. Um, I mean, I guess it would be up to their understanding of their beliefs and what their church tells them. I can just say for myself, I love scary movies, I love horror movies, and I don't see why you as a Christian couldn't watch them, but that's my non-theologically trained opinion. I would say you should never do anything that would put you at odds with or make you feel like you're at odds with your faith. So if your pastor or priest or rabbi or imam or whatever it is, faith leader is telling you that horror movies are not to be watched, then you can maybe reconsider the church. But if you're going to remain, then you should follow the teachings. I don't want to put anybody separate. I'm not Christian myself. I have a lot of respect for Christian faith, but yeah, I love scary movies. I absolutely love them. It's always been one of my favorite things. I do not know what the generative principle is, but okay. I mean, do you mean like God is a generative principle? Again, I think you don't do anything to upset your mom. Believe me, it's your mom goes eventually, and you miss her a lot. My mom passed away a couple of years ago, and there were times she told me to do things, and I ignored her. Looking back, I kind of wish I'd just done what she asked, give her a few less headaches. Whether I am or not should not make a difference. Freemasonry does not discriminate against ones, whether you're Jewish, Christian, Hindu, Sikh, Muslim, whatever it might be. So keep that in mind. Oh, there are Middle East evacuation flights ramping up as Iran conflicts widens. So to get to where? To get to, I'm not sure what you mean by there. I mean, you don't need any degrees except really the third degree. Even then, you can be a very active Mason as a first degree. I can talk about it. I choose not to. I choose not to because it's better for people if they find out by joining. It makes it more special. I don't want to ruin it for people. Well, because he misunderstands. The fraternal side of Freemasonry does not accept women. However, there is Co-Masonry, there is Order of Eastern Star, there is also Order of Women Freemasons, which is very popular in Canada and England. There's also Rainbow, International Order for Rainbow. So there are a multitude of Masonic groups, bodies, organizations that accept women. It's just a misunderstanding of the craft. Um, so he's incorrect. Um, well, I mean, I would say the Order of Women Freemasons are Freemasons. Yes, they are a different group in the same way Eastern Star is a different group, but that doesn't make them any less part of the family or any less my brothers, or I guess sisters, really, but they're still referred to as brothers within. Um, I mean, I think the best time to be a Freemason is the moment you become a Freemason, right? You have $1 million like and subscribe buttons, so hit the like and subscribe buttons. It's not all women, there's men in it as well. The all women would be the Order of Women Freemasons, which is very popular right now and growing, to my knowledge, growing in England, United Kingdom. Or Ordo Temple or Deus or Dallas. How do I pronounce that? A little bit about it. It's not something I know much about. Let me just Ordo Templi. Um, right? It's not it's not inherently Masonic because it was organized from groups which were Masonic and also which were not, and many which are not currently recognized, like the Rite of Mizraim, the Scottish Rite, which is recognized, sorry, but Rite of Memphis is not, Rite of Mizraim is not, at least in North America. So it has Masonic connections, but I wouldn't call it necessarily Masonic. Um, right? In many cases, it's not considered regular. Most Grand Lodges, to my knowledge, do not recognize it, including in Ontario. To my knowledge, it is not recognized. So I couldn't go to their meetings. They would not be considered Masonic, at least for my purposes. But when they were first founded, there were some Masonic connections. I do not want to have a new world order. I'm happy with the world we have. I like it for all of its faults. Freemasonry also is not about the new world order. So there you go. That's not what Freemasonry is trying to do. Um, no, because again, there are many Masonic orders that are for women, for men and women as well, and for young women. Um, I couldn't go to an Order of Women Freemasons meeting, but I could go to their banquets or celebrations and vice versa. Um, well, I mean, beauty's now the beholder. There are men and women in Freemasonry. What I will say is there's handsome men in Freemasonry like me. With my face, how can you get more handsome than that? Um, well, sometimes hyperbole is okay. I mean, define many. A lot. I mean, I fell into my trap. I always tell people be precise or don't speak. Many is not a precise term. There's like 6 Order of Women Freemasons lodges in Ontario, if I recall correctly. Usually, when someone says they have a serious question, they um, are going to say something not serious. But all right, I'll take the risk. Jeremy, what's a serious question? Um, let's hear it. Yes, we watch. A lot of people have. I've grown to accept it. Please hit like and subscribe. I'd very much appreciate it. We made it to over 3,650. No, Freemasonry, I don't even know what that means. Freemasonry is not Antichrist. Freemasonry is not a religion, so there is no quote unquote Antichrist within Freemasonry. We have many Christian members, but Freemasonry is not religious. So there is no Masonic theology in which like an Antichrist could exist. We're also not anti-Christian. We have many Christian members. Freemasonry is not a religion. So we welcome men of all different faiths and beliefs and backgrounds. Um, I think that's one of its greatest strengths, to be honest. You have to get used to trolls of all different sorts here on this channel. I've grown to accept it. If I go on stream, I'm going to get trolled by somebody, very often about my nose. It is not Jewish influenced entirely. Entirely is a dumb word. It is influenced by a lot of different things. Judaism is one of many. Primarily, though, it's influenced by stone masonry and operative masons. Um, what do we mean by the Legion? There was one Rothschild who was a Freemason, to my knowledge, but a single one. So, and Freemasonry is not a church. Sure, there's influences there, but there's also, again, stone Masonic influences, um, architectural orders, Christianity, the Muslim faith, heck, Chinese mythology, Islam. Enlightenment era philosophy, Stoicism, Egyptian mysticism. It borrows from a lot of different things. Yes, and many people do. Many people leave Freemasonry every day for a variety of reasons. There's no, we're not a cult. We're not making people stay against their will. And nor should we be. That's not what Freemasonry is about. I don't think you need, well, I mean, I don't think you need to protect free thinking, but I think freedom of thought is protected by strong civic engagement, right? I think that's how you develop civic free thought, whether it be, or protected, whether it be the Elks, the Moose, Knights of Columbus, or Freemasonry. CBA, that is incorrect. Freemasonry started either in 1717 or 1634, depending on kind of what history you want to use. 1776, the Illuminati started, as did America. But that's the Illuminati, that's not Freemasonry. Freemasonry started, let's say 1717. Everybody has to decide that for himself. I'll tell you the number one belief in Freemasonry is the belief that it's worth spending time with one another. I do not. I have no legs, so it's hard to go hiking. I shouldn't use that as an excuse, though. Many people with in wheelchairs do a lot of stuff outside. I'm just very lazy. America was not built by Freemasons, but some of the builders were Freemasons. 13 of the signers of the Declaration of Independence were Freemasons, and I think 9 of the signers of the Constitution. George Washington was one, for example, everybody's favorite, as well as John Hancock, Paul Revere, Ichabod Crane, if you ever watched this show, Sleepy Hollow, which I really like. I do not have a wife. I just have a cat. Well, I mean, you're here talking. Sometimes you get banned. Sometimes you get timed out, but you keep showing back up once again. Again, Washington D.C. was influenced by Freemasonry, but it wasn't built by Freemasons. There's a lot of different hands in the pot. A lot of different cooks in that kitchen, all of whom contributed to what is a great city, a historic city, a city I want to visit at some point. That seems to me, Jesus, like a pretty big infringement on the First Amendment. All right, if you're from the States. All right, guys, I am going to be ending this stream. It's 1 hour in, and it's 2 in the morning. I got a busy day tomorrow, but I will be back on at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You will find me there. All right, guys, talk to you later. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subs.